The blackness of space was quiet, silent, still, until they came. Without sound, without warning, something appeared near Jupiter, a shape darker than the space around it. Bigger than Earth's moon, no engines, no heat, no signs of life, but it was watching. Inside Earth's high-orbit command station, alarm screamed, "Sir, we've detected a massive object near Jupiter," shouted LT. Carla Burns. General Rhodes, a strong, calm man in his 60s, looked at the screen. He narrowed his eyes. "Is it a ship?" The officer beside her answered, "Sir. It's not just a ship, it's a colony-sized vessel, bigger than anything we've ever seen." The giant shape didn't move. It just floated, unmoving, in the dark. Then without warning, Earth's satellites near it went dead, one by one. 72 satellites, gone. No weapons fired. No explosions. Just ... nutters. And then, a single word appeared on every screen on Earth. Observe. Who were they? 3 hours passed. Every nation on Earth was in full alert. Air forces, navies, even civilian tech companies were watching the object. Scientists tried to understand it. Hackers tried to break into the signal. Militaries armed nukes. But nothing worked. The object didn't reply. It didn't move. It didn't attack, but it kept watching. Until finally, it moved. A panel opened. A small ship flew out. No one fired. No one blinked. The small ship flew at impossible speed and entered Earth's orbit in minutes. It hovered above the clouds. Still, no attack. General Rhodes stared at the live footage. "What do they want?" he whispered. The ship landed in the middle of the Sahara Desert. The first COINTEROids flew there with his team. So did scientists, diplomats, and translators. No weapons. Only questions. The alien ship opened like a flower. From inside, something stepped out. Tall, at least 10 feet tall. Covered in armor-like skin, black and deep red, muscles like steel cables. Its eyes glowed. Gold. The desert heat shimmered around it. That had said nothing. General Rhodes stepped forward. "I'm General Rhodes. You are on Earth. Who are you?" The alien didn't answer. It looked up at the sun, down at the sand, then at the humans around it. Then it spoke. Deep voice, heavy words. "We are the Korvax. We came from the edge of the void." Rhodes nodded slowly. "Why are you here?" The alien's gold eyes focused on him. "To understand your strength. The strongest species in the galaxy, back at Earth's command center, scientists found data. The Korvax were not new. In deep space records from other species millions of light years away, they were known. Korvax were the strongest species ever recorded. They crushed planets with their hands. They beat entire armies with bare fists. They feared no weapon, no army, no war. Every race that met them either died or surrendered. So why had they come to Earth? Why not attack? Why just observe? Rhodes asked the alien directly. "Why are you not attacking?" The Korvax warrior answered, "Because you are different." "Different how? You are small, weak, yet feared." Rhodes frowned. "Feared? By who?" "All who run from the edge of the void," the alien said. "We followed the fear, and it led us to you." The test begins. 3 days later, 10 more Korvax ships arrived. They didn't hide. They landed in different countries, and all did the same thing. They watched. They entered cities, sat in parks, stood near schools, followed people on the streets, but never hurt anyone. They asked no questions. They made no demands. They were silent giants, just watching. News reports flooded the world. Alien stands outside hospital watching patients. Korvax warrior seen inside school, staring at children. No attack yet, but their presence is everywhere. People panicked. Some tried to fight, some ran, some knelt. But the Korvax never reacted. Not even when a man threw a grenade. At one, it simply let the blast hit. then walked away. Humanity's strange POD scientists noticed a pattern. The Korvax were not interested in technology. They didn't touch Earth's weapons, labs, or machines. They only watched human behavior. They watched kindness, conflict, families, forgiveness, laughter. And when Rhodes asked one of them why, the Korvax said, "You are not the strongest by force, but something else protects you. We are here to find out what." The lab experiment in a private lab. Earth's top minds invited a Korvax to observe. They showed the alien a video of humans lifting weights, training for war, fighting in Mame cages. The Korvax did not react. Then they showed a video of a man jumping in front of a car to save a stranger. The Korvax blinked. "You call this strength?" it asked. The scientist nodded. "We call it courage." "What is courage?" the Korvax asked. The scientist smiled. "It's doing the right thing, even when you're afraid." The Korvax said nothing for a long time, then whispered, "That is not in our language." The final MOME 2 weeks later, the Korvax gathered again. In orbit, in deserts, in cities. Each one spoke the same message: humanity will now be tested. General Rhodes responded on live broadcast. Tested how? The lead Korvax answered, "Not your muscle, not your weapons, your true strength. If it is real. You will survive." And then, as suddenly as they came, the Korvax vanished. Every ship, every warrior. Gone. Only one remained. A young Korvax, smaller than the others, stood in front of Rhodes. He looked up at the human and said, "I was left behind to learn, to see if strength really isn't muscle. Show me." The world was holding its breath. Ever since the Korvax vanished, leaving behind only one of their own, the fear had not gone. Instead, it had grown stronger. They had said one thing before disappearing: humanity will now be tested. But no one knew how or when. Hook, a human VINISHISIT, happened just after midnight. Derek Cole, a 38-year-old schoolteacher in New York, was locking his classroom. It had been a long day. He had stayed late helping a struggling student. As he turned off the lights and walked into the hallway, everything changed. A strange humming sound filled the air. The lights flickered. A cold wind rushed through the hall, though all windows were closed. And then Derek vanished. No one saw it. No trace was left. Only his watch remained still ticking on the empty floor. The arena pialin. When Derek opened his eyes, he wasn't on Earth anymore. The air was thin. The ground beneath him was a cracked red stone. Black mountains surrounded a massive open area, a huge arena, like something from ancient times. High above, 2 suns burned in the sky. Derek stood up, confused and frightened. He was wearing simple clothes, no armor, no weapons. Around the arena, thousands of tall, armored figures watched him, Korvax warriors. They stood silently on stone ledges, not cheering, not moving. Then a voice echoed through the arena, booming from all directions. Trial 1, strength of the arm. From the far side of the arena, a giant gate opened, and a monster stepped out. The first OPPONENTI was over 12 feet tall, muscles like steel cables, skin like dark stone. Its arms hung low, and its hands looked like claws. It were no armor, only scars. Its eyes locked onto Derek. The humans watching from Earth, through a live feed the Korvax transmitted, screamed in panic. This was a death. "Is this their test?" General Rhodes asked from Earth's command room. "This isn't a trial. It's an execution." "Derek doesn't fight BAs," Kez the Beast roared and charged toward him. Derek ran. He didn't scream. He didn't beg. He ran, but not out of fear. He ran because he knew he couldn't win by force. He searched the arena. No weapons, no shields, no tools. Only stones, sand, and broken bones from past victims. The creature roared again and slammed the ground, missing him by inches. Derek kept running, dodging, hiding, thinking, I'm not strong like it, he thought. But I am smart. That has to be enough. The traps beat. Jandaric picked up a bone. Long, sharp, lightweight. He moved behind a rock, quickly digging a hole with the bone in his hands. He covered it with sand and laid some dried bones on top. The beast came again. It stepped forward and fell into the trap. Its foot snapped. It howled in pain. Derek didn't celebrate. He kept moving. He built more traps, digging pits, stacking rocks to fall, using shadows to hide. He didn't fight with strength. He fought with his brain. The Korvax above watched silently. The final MOVE. After hours of chasing and dodging, the beast was limping. It was bleeding. It was angry. Derek, breathing hard, hid behind a large rock. He had collected sharp stones and tied them using torn cloth from his shirt. He built a simple slingshot using bones and vine-like weeds he found near the arena wall. The beast charged for a final time. Derek waited, and then let the rock fly. It hit the creature's injured eye. The beast roared in blind rage and turned too fast, falling into the deepest trap. Derek had dug. It didn't rise again. Silence filled the arena. Then a single word echoed: victory. Korvax leader speaks. A larger Korvax figure descended into the arena. Its armor was silver and marked with strange glowing symbols. Its voice was deeper than the others. You are not a warrior, it said. Derek nodded, exhausted. No, I'm a school teacher. You fought without strength, without weapons. Why? Derek looked up. Because I knew I couldn't win by muscle, so I used what I had: my mind. The Korvax leader was quiet for a moment, then it asked, what do you call this strength of thought? Derek smiled weakly. We call it strategy. Earth RSPO the entire planet had been watching. Everyone from presidents to farmers had seen the fight. They didn't cheer because a monster was killed. They cheered because a human survived. Without violence. News headlines read, Teacher outsmarts alien beast. Victory without blood. Human strategy, the true weapon? General Rhodes leaned forward in his chair and said, they expected brute force. We gave them something else. Back on the ZKIP, Derek was transported back to a Korvax chamber. Medical machine scanned him. His wounds were treated by glowing blue lights. A young Korvax watched him from a distance. The same one left behind on Earth earlier. It approached Derek and asked, why did you not kill the creature directly? Derek replied, because if I had fought with anger, I would have lost. Even in victory, you chose mercy. It wasn't the creature's fault. It was just doing what it was told. The young Korvax seemed confused. Almost thoughtful. The record of Esterianjit in the great vault of the Korvax, their library of truth. An entry was made that day. Trial 1, human past. Strength of the arm does not live in the arm. It lives in the mind. The next Emis S's G. The Korvax leader stood before the Galaxy Council, a group of ancient species who had long feared Korvax power. The humans have passed the first trial, the leader said. One of the alien council members replied, by trickery. No, said the Korvax, by something deeper. Something even we have never mastered. Another alien asked, will they face another trial? Yes, the Korvax answered. One of the heart. Ending moment. The teacher says. Derek rested. A Korvax elder came to him one last time. You were chosen at random, it said. Yet you showed us something new. Derek smiled. That's how humans are. We all carry something strong, even when we don't look strong. The elder nodded slowly. Strength is not what we thought. The Korvax ship hovered above the Earth again. Its black metal shimmered under the moonlight. But this time, it didn't land in a desert or a battlefield. It came to a small village in northern India, peaceful, silent. Children played outside, in the dirt. Old men drank tea and watched the stars. Then the Korvax voice echoed in the sky. Humanity. For your next trial, we take the child." Before anyone could move, a soft blue beam of light surrounded a small girl. She was only 7 years old. Her name was Ayla Sharma. The villagers screamed. Her parents begged, but Ayla looked calm. She stared at the beam. And then, she was gone. The test began. Ayla opened her eyes. She wasn't afraid. She sat in a clean silver room. It was quiet. The walls were smooth and curved like glass. She was alone. No doors, no windows. Just silence. Then a voice came deep and cold. "This is trial 2, the strength of the heart." Ayla didn't answer. She hugged her little stuffed bear tighter, the one that had somehow come with her. The voice spoke again. "You are young, weak, afraid. You will break." Ayla looked up and said, softly, "No, I won't." The fear. Simulation and the walls changed. They turned black. Then, images appeared. Terrible ones. Ayla saw monsters. Sharp teeth. Red eyes. She saw fire, screaming, her parents calling her name, but unable to reach her. She saw herself alone, trapped. She saw herself falling into endless dark. The Korvax were testing her mind, her emotions. They wanted to break her heart. Her weapon, a song. Ayla sat on the floor, her small hands trembling. She felt fear. Real fear. Tears rolled down her cheeks, but then she held her bear tighter and whispered something. It was a song. A lullaby her mother sang to her every night. "Channi rat main so ya. Taran ka jihan hai ya. The simulation continued, but Ayla kept singing. She closed her eyes and imagined her mother's arms around her. She imagined the stars above her village. She imagined safety. Earth watcs on Earth. The Korvax broadcasted everything again. People across the world watched. In shock. A child? Someone whispered, "They're testing a little girl?" General Rhodes was furious. "This is not strength. This is cruelty." But the Korvax commander replied, "Strength of the heart cannot be tested on the strong. It must be tested on the innocent." All eyes turned to the screen, and there she was, Ayla, still singing, still holding on. The trap ends. Suddenly, the room changed again. This time, Ayla saw her mother, but something was wrong. Her mother looked angry. She shouted at Ayla, told her she was weak, that she was forgotten, that no one was coming. It wasn't real, but it felt real. Ayla stepped back, tears returning. Then she closed her eyes and whispered again, "You're not my mom." The fake image glitched, flickered, vanished. Ayla sat down again. She said, "I'll wait. My heart is not broken." Inside the Korvax Lab-2, Korvax scientists watched Ayla's brain scans. One of them whispered, "Her fear levels are high, but her core remains stable." The other nodded. "She is resisting full emotional collapse." The Korvax leader entered. "What have you learned?" it asked. "She is enduring," said the scientist, "despite extreme psychological attack." "She is small," said the leader, "but she carries something vast inside her." Flashback. Why Ayla is Estironji inside the simulation. Ayla remembered something. Her mother, once sick with fever, had still sung to her every night. Her father once walked 10 miles through snow just to bring her medicine. Her grandma gave up her own food when Ayla was sick. Those memories became her armor. She whispered to herself, "My family is strong, so I am strong." The Korvax couldn't understand. They had tested warriors, beasts, machines, but not something like love. 12 hours later, the room turned quiet. The images stopped. The walls returned to smooth silver. The deep voice returned. "You should have broken." "Why didn't you?" Ayla stood. "I was scared," she said. "But I remembered love. I remembered home." "What is this?" "Love?" the voice asked. "It's why I didn't give up," Ayla said. "Because someone's waiting for me." A message from the Korvax that night. The Korvax returned Ayla to her village. She floated gently down in the same blue light, her bear still in her hand, her song still in her heart. The villagers ran to her, her parents hugged her and cried, and then a voice echoed across the sky, Trial 2 complete. Humanity has passed. General Rhodes heard the broadcast too. He asked, "What did you find?" The Korvax replied, "Strength of the heart is not found in warriors, but in a child who would not let go of hope." In the Korvax Archivesa, new message was recorded in the ancient vaults of the Korvax Empire. Trial 2. Human child endured what no soldier could. Strength of the heart is real and terrifying. Behind the SENS, back aboard the main Korvax ship, some warriors argued. She did nothing. She fought no beast. She used no weapons. But the commander silenced them. She was tested by lies and fear and did not break. If such strength lives in a child, what lives in their grown ones? The world erased the next day. Ayla's name was known across Earth. People sent letters, gifts, songs. Her lullaby went viral. But Ayla said nothing. She just smiled and said, "I wasn't brave. I just remembered my family." General Rhodes visited her village and gave her a medal. But Ayla gave it to her mother and said, "You're the brave one. You made me strong." The next TRIL in the skies above, the Korvax ship blinked again. This time, the message was different. Next, the strength of unity. You may choose your champions. General Rhodes stared at the message and whispered, "We didn't just pass. We taught them something they never knew." Red dust swirled over the barren plains of Mars. A sudden explosion shattered the silence. The colony station trembled. People screamed. The oxygen. Alarms blared. A massive fire broke out near the main habitat dome. The Korvax watched from above. Deep voice echoed in the emergency broadcast systems. Trial 3. Strength of Unity. Chaos on Mars. As Commander Isha Patel sprinted through the smoke-filled corridors. Her breath was short. Her heart raced. Her helmet cracked from the heat. The fire spread fast. She saw injured workers crawling. Panicking, the escape shuttles were limited, only enough for half the colony. People pushed and shouted. The choice was clear. Save yourself or save others. The choice began. Cecilia grabbed the emergency radio. "Attention! Prioritize children, the sick, and the elderly. We evacuate. In groups, no one left behind." Her voice was strong but calm. People started to form lines. Instead of chaos, there was order. Some gave up seats. Some carried strangers on their backs. The flames rise outside the station. The firestorm grew. The oxygen levels dropped. The heat was unbearable. Yet Isha stayed behind, helping the last groups to safety. Her boots burned on the hot metal floors. A sudden collapse blocked the main exit. Isha's radio crackled. "Commander, the hatch is stuck. We need manual override." Without hesitation, Isha ran toward the hatch. She shoved and pushed. The metal wouldn't budge. Sacrifice for you and I. Were realizing the hatch couldn't open from the outside. Isha ordered the team, "Go. I'll hold the door open." "You save who?" "You can." "No," shouted a young engineer. But Isha shook her head. "This is our trial. Our strength is in unity, in sacrifice." She placed her shoulder against the heavy metal. Her strength was fading, but her will was iron. The team escaped. Isha was trapped. Korvax OBCRV, the Korvax ships orbiting Mars. The warriors observed silently. They expected selfishness. They expected panic. Instead, they saw humans helping humans. They saw sacrifice. Earth REAST news feeds exploded with the Mars disaster. But the stories were not of defeat. They were of courage, teamwork, and sacrifice. Commander Isha Patel holds the hatch, saving hundreds. Strangers risk lives for one another. The world watched and cried. The final moment on Mars inside the station. Isha's strength began to fade. The fire's heat scorched her skin. Her breaths were shallow, but her mind was clear. She smiled, thinking of her family back on Earth. Then, the hatch slowly moved open. Her team returned. They pulled her out. She collapsed, but smiled. Lessons of Unite Ag on Earth. The Korvax leader spoke during the broadcast. You have passed the third trial. Your strength is not in muscle or mind alone. It is in your unity. Humanity sea liberati, as at a special ceremony, Isha was honored. She said, our strength is in each other. Her words echoed worldwide. Korvax records UPD'd. Korvax archives recorded. Trial 3 complete. Strength of unity shown through sacrifice and teamwork. Preparation for next trial. The Korvax sent a message. Prepare for Trial 4, the strength of the broken. The cold metal walls echoed with every footstep. In the darkest cell of the Korvax warship, a man sat alone. His body was bruised, broken. His hands chained to the floor. His eyes hollow but burning. His name was Liam Carter. He was Earth's prisoner, and the Korvax believed he was defeated. But Liam had one thing no one could break: his will. Torture begins. Korvax guards entered the cell. They threw water on Liam's face. Speak, they demanded. Tell us Earth's secrets. Surrender, Liam. Coughed. He looked up and said, I don't surrender. The guards hit him again, but still, Liam remained silent. The power of the Biarokan. The Korvax scientist watched from behind glass. He said to his colleague, this human should be broken. His mind should snap under pressure. But he doesn't. Liam's story begins. Liam was once a soldier. He had fought in battles where cities burned. He had lost his family to war. He had seen death too, many times. The Elo says he remembered the day his home was destroyed. A Korvax attacked. Flames and screams. His wife and child lost forever. That pain lived inside him. But instead of hate, Liam chose forgiveness. Forgiveness as strength. Why forgive? The Korvax scientist asked. Liam's eyes were steady. Because hatred destroys the one who hates. I forgive because I want peace. The trial continues. Korvax tried to break Liam's spirit. They denied him food. They kept him awake for days. They injected chemicals to confuse his mind. Liam's RESISDNs. See, but Liam used meditation. Repeated one phrase in his mind. We don't give up. He imagined his family's faces. He imagined a future without war. Flashback. Aim is Tier 9, G before the war. Liam was trained to be strong. Not just with weapons, but with his mind. His commander told him, true strength is in the broken pieces. Earth's HOP on Earth. People prayed for Liam. His friends sent messages. They believed he was the symbol of Earth's strength. Korvax CO nephews. Korvax leader said, this human strength is alien. No weapon can kill it. The final interrogation. Korks demanded, tell us your secrets. Or die. Liam smiled weakly. No secret can defeat the human spirit. The turning PO, and suddenly, Liam's cell doors exploded open. Earth forces stormed the warship. A rescue mission. Freedom, and as a sci-fi was free. But he refused to leave without others. He led prisoners to safety. Victory of the Biarokachin back on Earth. Liam's story inspired millions. He was proof. Strength comes from even the broken. Korvax records update. Trial 5 complete. Strength of the broken is the greatest of all. Next trial. AWAITs. The Korvax sent a message. Prepare for Trial 6, the mind that builds. In the heart of the Korvax capital ship, a massive chamber gleamed with lights and strange symbols. The oldest Korvax elder spoke to the gathered crowd. This puzzle has defeated every species in the galaxy for 10,000 years. A giant holographic cube rotated slowly in the air. None have solved it. None have even come close. The Korvax turned their eyes to Earth. Let us see if humans can. Introducing Amaja on Earth. A young girl named Mira Shah sat quietly in her room. She was 14. Bright and curious. Math puzzles were her favorite. Her father was a scientist working on space. Technology. Her mother was a teacher. Mira dreamed of stars. Suddenly, her screen blinked. A message appeared. You have been chosen for the final trial. The TRANSPORE. Before she could react, a soft light surrounded Mira. She felt weightless. When she opened her eyes, she was inside the Korvax capital ship. The puzzle room. Mira was led into a vast chamber. The holographic cube floated above a pedestal. Korvax elders watched silently. The puzzle was complex. Colors, shapes, and sounds combined in strange ways. Mira studied it carefully. Her approach. Mira did not rush. She used logic, patience, and creativity. She noticed patterns others missed. She used trial and error, learned from mistakes. Her mind was calm. Time. PSSs turned to days. Korvax grew restless. Others gave up. Mira kept working. Korvax Amazon. Korvax watchers whispered, "How can one so small solve what we cannot?" One elder said, "Humans think differently." The SOLUTIO. And finally, Mira found the answer. With a gentle touch, she shifted the last piece. The cube changed color. It emitted a soft glow. The chamber filled with light. Earth sea liberate. The news spread instantly. A human solved the unsolvable. Mira was called a hero. Lesson from the Korvax. The Korvax leader said, "You have proven that strength is not just force or heart. It is the mind that builds, creates, and adapts." The final DCS. The Korvax offered Earth a place in their empire. A chance to fight as warriors, but humanity refused. The offer of PAC. General Rhodes spoke for Earth. "We do not want to fight, we want to teach." A new began in ing. The Korvax accepted. Earth became the first wisdom planet. In a silent part of the galaxy, something ancient was waking. Inside a dark, stone-like ship larger than any planet, the strongest species in the universe opened their eyes after 10,000 years of sleep. They were called the Karak Val, known across ancient texts as the Unbreakables. They didn't use lasers. They didn't use machines. They were the weapon. Their muscles were like steel. Their skin stopped plasma. Their minds were cold, perfect, and calm. They had one belief: only the strongest has the right to survive. And now they were watching Earth. The call to on Earth. Inside the United Terran Space Command, Commander Rhodes received a strange signal. It came in low, rumbling tones. The message was simple: you passed the mind. You passed the heart. Now pass the fist. Face us, or kneel. The Council of Planets panicked. "No one answers the Karak Val," said a Nervari ambassador. "They destroy entire solar systems for fun." But Commander Rhodes stood tall. "We accept their challenge." Humanity. PREPRS. The strongest warriors from Earth were gathered. But Rhodes didn't just bring soldiers. He brought builders, doctors, artists, even a chef. He brought balance, because humans had learned strength is not only to destroy. They reached the planet Varkel, the homeworld of the Karak Val. It was all stone, fire, and gravity 5 times heavier than Earth. Every step was pain. Every breath was war. The first test, the Pit of Flusha, human marine named Tariq Vega, was chosen for the first challenge. Stepped into a massive stone arena. Facing him, a Karak named Grainer, 10 feet tall, body like mountain rock, no armor, no weapon. Just fists. The gong rang. Grainer rushed like a falling mountain. Tariq dodged, slipped, punched with speed, not strength. He moved like a shadow. The crowd of Karak laughed at first, but then Grainer stumbled. Bleeding. For the first time in Karak history, a non-Karak made one of them bleed. Tariq lost, but Grainer fell unconscious, and the crowd grew silent. The Karak High Warrior stood. He lost, but he made the unbreakable fall. The second test, Stone TOW. This time, it was not a fight. It was a building test. Strength is not only to destroy, said Rhodes. The humans and K'rak were told to build towers using ancient stones under a burning sun. No machines. No help. Just will. Humans formed a chain. They used math, timing, rhythm. They communicated. K'rak used only muscle and built fast but without planning. After 10 hours, the human tower was twice as high and stable. The K'rak tower fell. Again. Silence, the final test. The wall of fairy. Now came the last test. A burning trench separated two sides. On one side, an injured K'rak child. On the other, flames and toxic gas. The challenge: save the child. The K'rak waited. None moved. 2. Dangerous, they said. Then Mira Shah, yes. The same girl from part 6 stepped forward. She wore no armor, just her light suit and a face mask. She ran into the flames. Everyone screamed. Minutes passed. Then she returned, coughing, tired, but carrying the child in her arms. A child not from her species. A child who could have crushed her easily, but she saved him anyway. The K'rak High Elder stood. He was over 1,000 years old. His voice was deep and full of weight. You humans are not made of steel, but your minds, your will, your hearts are stronger than anything we've ever faced. The K'rak DCID K'rak Thal gathered in their sacred circle. They spoke in deep tones that shook the stones. Then they turned to the humans, and they did something they had never done. They knelt. Every single K'rak warrior. To humanity. You have passed the trial of strength, said the High Elder, but not because of muscle, because you showed us a new kind of power. Return to Eart. The human team returned to Earth as heroes. Crowds cheered across every city. Children spoke of Mira, of Tariq, of Rhodes. But Rhodes said something important. We didn't win by beating them. We won by showing them a better way. The K'rak sent their warriors not to invade, but to learn. To sit with scientists, to build schools, to study peace. Ending message to the Galaxy from Earth. A message was sent across the stars. We don't seek to be the strongest through fear. We seek to grow through learning, unity, and will. If that makes us strong, then come test us. Epilogue. A whisper in the DRK in the last scene. Deep in the edge of the galaxy, an ancient race listened to Earth's message. A soft whisper echoed in the blackness. They passed every trial, the mind, the heart, and now the fist. So what will they do when the gods return?